What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring you another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are, because your automotive business deserves the latest in transportation and logistics news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, in a minute, if you're watching on demand, you're going to see the welcome show lineup, which means you'll know what to expect, which means you can use the clickable video time code links in the video description below. Please do use those. Remember to like, share, tell your friends. Thanks for watching ATI. We sure do appreciate it. The evolving fixed ops landscape focuses on vehicle reconditioning time-to-line strategies to improve dealer margins, generate more revenue, increase transparency, and improve ROI measurements overall. And Vehlo is the market leader in reconditioning to retail. Tonight, we're featuring Bob Wolf, Sales Director, and Nick Ruffalo, Fixed Ops Director at Rohrman Auto Group. Plus, we have Euwart Burrell Anderson, GM at Vehlo, and Dennis McGinn, CEO of Rapid Recon. With Thompson in the building, we're going to learn a lot tonight about vehicle reconditioning and fixed ops dealer profit. So please join the live chat, ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business, break out of your vertical, because it's Tuesday nights live on ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. I'm your host. Welcome back to the show. What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back again to Tuesday Nights Live on ATI Auto Business. It's great to have you back. It's great to be back. Back in the saddle again and ready for another round of vehicle reconditioning, and fixed ops is the focus tonight. If this is your first time, please do feel welcome. Please do feel welcome on ATI. ATI is for everyone in automotive. Front of the store, back of the store, wherever you're at, please do say hello in the live chat. We're going to go there in a few minutes. Put in your company name. You a dealer, a carrier, a broker? What are you looking for? We're here to help. Our network is vast, and we're proud of it. We're going to go into industry news at the quarter hour. First half of industry news is a celebration of what we're doing here tonight. Second half is the Pulse, which you can share with your business development group. Newsflash, secrets out. Some groups are using the 30 minutes into Tuesday Night's Live segment as a way to get a quick recap on the news. Do that. Leverage it. Make it happen. We're going to bring in Ty Thompson at the 50-minute mark. And, yes, one more time, quick recap of how we got here, what we're doing here, because we're so lucky tonight, for the first time on ATI, to have Bob Wolf at Rohrman Auto Group. He is with us, and he has got a lot to say about how fixed ops, reconditioning, the focus on improving that process has been a game changer at his dealership. His fixed ops director, Nick, is going to join us. We're going to spend some time getting to know them. Then we're going to bring in Euwart Burrell Anderson. First time here on ATI. He is the GM at Vehlo. Vehlo recently acquired Rapid Recon, and so we're going to learn more about that. We're going to bring in Dennis McGinn to fill out the panel. It's going to be a pretty informative show. If you've seen press releases or stories, you're going to learn more here tonight on ATI. So bring your questions, and do me a favor. Go ahead and, while you're at it, I mean, the like button is right in front of you. Take advantage of that opportunity. Seize the day. Seize the like. Leave one here for us. We sure do appreciate it. And you can even copy and share on social media and all the whatnot. You could do that. Listen, if you're lost in the whole process, don't know what's going on, call or text Ty, 417-483-2764. He wants to help you answer your questions. Look for links in the live chat coming up soon. We're going to go into the live chat here in a minute. So do me a favor, stick around. We'll be right back after this.
Location Services, collateral recovery with pinpoint precision and advanced proprietary technologies. Your single source for nationwide collateral recovery. LS Recovery, certified and compliant. LS Skip, experienced recovery. LSPR, advanced plate recognition. LS Impound, precision capture. LS Remarketing, nationwide auction partners. LS Keys, professional locksmith. LS Transport to any destination. LS Titles, verified documentation. LS Auto Notice, secure fulfillment. One contact, one contract, we do it all. Location Services.
Recon in 2023. Time to line. Speed to sale. Managed by metrics. Know what you don't know. Technician efficiency. Workflow efficiency. More cars, less time. Know where your cars are. Connect to what you expect. Rapid Recon can help.
Car dealers can see the Rapid Recon difference with transparent communication through the vehicle reconditioning process, auto remarketing, and dealer inventory management software. Visit rapidrecon.com. All right, let's do it. Let's go into mic check 1, 2, 3. We're okay. Let's go into the live chat. Thank you so much. Oh, and here's a link for you too. Right there. Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah, once again, just to reiterate, here's the good news: is there's a lot out there competing for your attention, stuff to watch, so many experts and things to get into. That's why we try to move quickly here, but also reconnect with our base, our core. If at all you're unsure, why this topic, Jay? Well, gosh, number one, if you're in automotive, you're in transportation. And two, everything is connected. So the more we understand about the other verticals, the better we can understand different times in our jobs of why something is important, and vice versa, important. And it also helps us realize, I should probably realize that maybe so-and-so doesn't know this about my side of the business, because transportation is one part in the supply chain, and a very important part, but it's not the end. It's not. In fact, in reconditioning, one could argue transportation is just the beginning of the workflow. What's up, Ty? Is this where I learned about time to line? We are proud of that. ATI brings time to line and key to key into the logistics conversation. Loving that. Chris Chamberlain is here, steady to wait for it. Thank you, Chris. Carlos Braxton, hey, ACB Logistics is in the house. Appreciate that. OAV Transport, thank you for tuning in, saying hello. Really do appreciate it. Danny B is here. What's up, everybody? Danny B. I suppose we're just not going to get a whole lot of, new random viewers off of YouTube recommendations. It seems strange to me. After all these years, somebody was just saying, God, I can't believe you guys don't get more views. I know. And at the same time, we say this. That's why I talk about it. It is strange. But we go to these shows and we keep meeting people that we haven't talked to, and they've seen the show. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We're just going to keep going. Just keep on going. Just keep on doing what you're doing. We'll hang out in the live chat here for another minute. And by the way, if you're in any way, if you're currently participating in this channel, you're thinking about participating in the channel, or even if you have in the past participated in this channel, you should jump in the live chat. Free advertising in the live chat. Where's that $? I'm just saying. Why not? Okay. All right. Once again, on tonight's show, we're talking about fixed ops dealer profit. And because someone's going to say, man, I want to be a part of that profit. Well, once again, are you building a business that you can grow and sell? Because if you are, you probably know your customer. You know how to talk to your customer, or your customer's customer, or your customer's 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 customer. But somewhere along the way, you know more about what's going on than just, you hunt and peck, you book it, pick it up, deliver it, don't know anything about why I even did that. That's what we're here for. This is ATI. If you're emailing us, if you're contacting us on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, thank you for doing so. We'll get back to you shortly. I even just fired off another, just today I sent off another copy of the dispatching course PDFs to somebody that was looking for that, had watched the training series. Thank you so much. I've got to get back to, just got an email looking for a dispatcher, Murphy Auto Transport Services. Thank you very much. Somebody wanted to know about equipment, send them over to Ty. Whatever your question is, whatever you're looking for in this network, our network has really grown. That's why we go to all these trade shows. Let us know what you're looking for and how we can help. That's what we're here for. That's what this chat is for. Sergio says, California car hauling, thanks for what you guys do. Thank you, Sergio. Really do appreciate that. Hats off to you. We are pro carrier. We are pro automotive. And occasionally we throw some props to the broker. Oh, and the dispatcher. And dealers and auctions and OEMs and tech companies, etc. So join us, won't you? Oh, Silver Mint said hello. Put a camera on a repo truck. That's what's hot lately. Hey, man, that's a good idea, dude. Repo. We did some repo stuff lately, as you know, because you're addicted to this channel, aren't you? Stick around. We'll be right back.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market, and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our Price Watch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
Searching for that midnight auto shipping quote and new lead software you can trust. Provide instant, accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter, and move cars fast with Pro ABD CRM. Visit superflowsystems.com. Got a link in the live chat. All right, stick around, fellas. We got a little bit more time. We're going to jump into industry news right now. Oh, it's the quarter hour, right on time. That's nice. Got a few things here, so we're going to try to move it along. Fixed ops dealer profit. Here on Tuesday night, show 289 in a row on ATI. We're gonna meet for the first time here. Euwart Anderson is the GM at Vehlo, And Dennis McGinn will be joining us as well. We're going to start off with Rohrman Auto Group. But we just want to say we love to talk about Rapid Recon. We actually find ourselves talking about Rapid Recon all the time at trade shows. And you see the name everywhere. And if you don't know all the things that they do, we're here to help get you caught up. You may see banner ads and advertisements. And you've seen, we did Recon Efficiency and You last summer. This fall we did Connect with What You Expect. And they have so many different aspects. If you go to their website, go to rapidrecon.com, and you're gonna see questions you may not have thought about. Are the recalls done? What were the appraisal notes? All the different things you may not have thought about in the entire reconditioning process. We've had Anthony Greenhalgh on the show, and love to see the social media go around about clips with Anthony at NADA show, which I think might have been the first time we talked to Anthony at Rapid Recon at NADA show 2022. And then we started to learn more about, scheduling a demo and seeing how it works, and there's white papers. There's so much information. Again, I encourage you, go to rapidrecon.com and learn from the experts. Then we had the chance we did a Friday show on Cars on the Move, Rapid Recon at Oaks Kia. Let's see Rapid Recon in action at the dealership, right? Because we talk about front of the store, back of the store. Let's put it together. That's what we do on Fridays on Cars on the Move. There's Bradley Orr, a performance manager, from the screen to... There we are in the shop with Chris D'Amico of Oaks Kia. There's Ty on the lot, right, at Oaks Kia, setting up the shot, telling us more about what we're going to do before we go in. And we even got a chance to see Rapid Recon on the mobile device in action, because that's one of the things about, we know that in transportation, right, you're using your mobile app a lot. If you're a carrier and you're picking up and delivering vehicles, your mobile app, your vehicle inspection mobile app, is central to your process. Well, in vehicle reconditioning, as you make your way around the departments in the dealership of where the vehicle needs to be in repair and reconditioning, you use Rapid Recon to see where that car is now, where that car is headed next, and when it's in your department, you can update the status. That's how Rapid Recon works. We even took another look at Rapid Recon on Dealer Valentine's Day this year, because Ty loves to talk about love the dealer. If you love the dealer, it's possible you'll get more business. Now, as we know in the live chat, it's not always easy to love the dealer, but it can be profitable. It's a way to build business. So there's Ty again talking to Chris about loving the dealer and building business, sitting in his office. This was a lot. They did a long segment on Valentine's Day in Chris's office. Again, just talking about how transportation logistics ties right in with what the dealer's doing, getting the vehicle from the auction, time to line, ready. It's key to key. And we want to thank Rapid Recon for having ATI on their show, on your place. That's on Auto Success Online. Rapid Recon hosts a segment, and we appreciate that. So thanks so much for having us on your content as well. And there is, I think that was the most recent time we had. There's Dennis. You can see Chris D'Amico, Jennifer Marzalek, Anthony Greenhalgh, having a good time on ATI. It's infotainment. We look at the ecosystem, and as we look at it again tonight, dealers and services, that's Rapid Recon working with the dealers, and it touches many other areas of the ecosystem. On ATI, one of the things that we like to do is follow the disconnect between sales and operations. When you find that bottleneck, when you find that disconnect, that's when you find the opportunity to improve something. That's what we really try to do here. And, dude, where's my car? Dude, where is my car? Does anybody know where the car is? As I said on stage a few weeks ago, you're the remarketer. Doesn't the driver understand your business? Do you understand the driver's business? Maybe it's time for a powwow. A weekend retreat. And as Ty liked to bring up, 1.72 years is now the average lifespan. Cut down from 3.01 years. Not good. It's not good. Do you understand the carrier? Do you understand their problems? Have you taken the time? It's ATI. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Let me know how I can help. Please do. And I'm looking at the make sure everything's okay. Give me a thumbs up if the stream's okay. I think it's okay, but I just want to make sure. And if you have a longer beef, autotransportintel@gmail.com. It's how you get your car shipping business news. What we do is we tell you every Tuesday. I put it up on the big screen because you know what time it is. That's right. Step right up. We got 5 new questions. Step right up. Are you a car shipping guru? Let's play Ask Larry. 5 new questions every Tuesday night about what the show is about. This is your warm-up. Here we go. Question 1. What is vehicle reconditioning? Is it designing and building a car from scratch? The process of repairing a vehicle's exterior damage? Restoring a vehicle to its original condition, mechanically and cosmetically? Or is it washing and detailing a car? What is vehicle reconditioning? What's up, Stephen family? How you doing? What is vehicle reconditioning? From scratch, exterior damage, restoring a vehicle, or washing and detailing. Carlos has C. Carlos has restoring a vehicle to its original condition, mechanically and cosmetically. OAV has restoring a vehicle to its original condition, mechanically and cosmetically. Going once. Sold to the restoring a vehicle to its original condition, mechanically and cosmetically. So it is, it's all of that. Because if it's going to be ready for the front row tie, it's going to need more than a wash. He's such a kidder. Okay. So it's more than repairing exterior. That's a big job. That's a lot. That's more than just, pulling trash out and doing a wipey. I mean, this is a lot of work, and that's why they need time and different departments. That's a lot. That's quite an orchestration. Okay. Question 2. What is fixed ops? A car that doesn't require any maintenance? The department of a dealership that handles vehicle sales? Dealership department that handles vehicle repairs and maintenance, or the process of converting a gas-powered car to run on electricity? What is fixed ops? Oh, I meant to put in an answer about, eyeglasses. Dang it. Where were you on that one, Jay? Hey, what's up, William Damsky? Hello, everyone running that PA New Jersey lane. Bill C's Transport. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bill. Carlos has dealership department that handles vehicle repairs and maintenance. Ty has it. OAV has it. Anybody else want to get? Williams got it. Well, gosh. Okay. Well, geez. Dealership department that handles vehicle repairs and maintenance. That's fixed ops. That's fixed ops. And you like the process of converting. Well, it's going to be a thing. Well, it is a thing. It's called a generator in the bed of your F-150. Okay. Question 3. Here we go. What is a DMS? A gas-powered car that runs on electricity. A system used to manage customer relations in a dealership. A system used to track and manage inventory in a dealership. A system to manage dealer operations such as sales, finance, and service. Ooh, man, this one's tight. Okay, so you got the gas-powered car again. A system used to manage customer relations. Okay. A customer relations system. A system used to track and manage inventory. Okay, an inventory management system. Or a system to manage dealer operations such as sales, finance, and service. What is a DMS? Right, it's fun, right? It's fun to learn. Okay, Jay. What is a DMS? Okay. Yeah, see, this is tough. I know. This one's hard, man. Yes. Okay. A DMS. Because you hear these things, right? You hear TMS, DMS, IMS, DMC. So is it customer relations, inventory, or dealer operations? What is a DMS? We're going to need a Scantron on this thing. Everyone got your pencils ready? You fill in no, don't leave any spots in those circles. OAV, Dealer Management System. Well, yes. So DMS is Dealer Management System. Oh, that's not good, Silverman. Did you see the article about driver shortage? And I'm quoted as saying trucking isn't as cool as it used to be. It's a good one, Jay. Way to go. What is a DMS? All right, here we go. It is a system to manage dealer operations such as sales, finance, and service. No wonder nobody tunes in. Question 4. What is variable operations? The process of changing a car's tire pressure. The department of a dealership that handles vehicle sales. Dealership department that handles vehicle repairs and maintenance. The process of adjusting a car's engine performance. Did I move on from that one too quickly? Yeah, a system to manage dealer operations. That's a DMS. A CRM is customer relations. An inventory management system. I will say this. The DMS, that C answer sure is close. And you know what? I used ChatGPT on this one. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, AI. I got to keep that in mind. We got some AI news coming up. So what is variable operations? The process of changing a car's tire pressure. The department of a dealership that handles vehicle sales. Dealership department that handles vehicle repairs and maintenance. The process of adjusting a car's engine performance. Right? So we know fixed ops was C. Fixed ops was dealership department that handles vehicle repairs and maintenance. You see all this? Look at all this learning going on. Really? On ATI, you learn that? Tire pressure, sales, repairs and maintenance, or engine performance. Going once. Going twice. I actually didn't know the answer to this. I did. Yeah, there you go. It is. It is actually the department of dealership that handles vehicle sales. I didn't know that. That's why I thought I'd share it, because I learned that today too. Look at that. You learn something every day. Right? Now you can saddle up at the auction and be like, well, you know, are you focused on fixed ops or variable ops? Because, you know, next time I look at your DMS, you know, word salad. You too can be Kamala Harris. Okay. Question 5. That's pretty funny. What does SAS stand for? That's Sasso. Name that movie. You smell that? That's Sasso. SAS. Software and applications as a service. Security and analytics as a service. Storage and architecture as a service. Or server and automation as a service. What does SAS stand for? I love trivia. You like trivia, Tom? I do too. Thank you very much. It's a lot of work, actually. This trivia. It is. But, yeah, it's worth it. Maybe. What does SAS stand for? Software and applications as a service. Ty's got applications. Security analytics. Storage and architecture. Server and automation. Oh, everybody's a winner on ATI. What does SAS stand for? Software and applications as a service. Which, the reason I brought that up is really SAS. Pulled one out of a pirate driveway. Wow. Oh, pirate. I read pirate driveway. Private driveway. Pirate driveway would have been amazing. It's like a repo. But private driveway. How was that? By the way, yeah. Because Silverman, you've got a bigger rig, right? How were the trees? And did it match what the customer said? SaaS is important because software as a service. I mean, this is literally a product now all the time. Yeah. Do you know what movie it is? Do you smell that? That's Sasso. Sasso. I think that's what it is. Do you smell that? That's Sasso. They pull me back in. Something like that. Alright, that was just it. Okay. Anyways, yeah. If you think of it, you've got about an hour and a half to come up with the answer, so. Thank you guys so much for making this a good time and a learning experience for all. Do me a favor, stick around, because right after this, we'll be back with Industry News Part 2, The Pulse. You won't want to miss it. Stick around.
Ship Your Car Now presents Integrated Automotive Transportation Solutions. When your car buying customers are on your dealership website shopping for vehicles, they can easily find an instant shipping quote. By entering simple information, first name, last name, email, and phone number, delivery zip, delivery state, and clicking the button, Get Your Shipping Quote. Choose from express shipping, enclosed transport, and proceed to checkout. Review the order summary. Enter the delivery street address and city and click Next. Simply enter your credit card information just like any other online shopping cart. And when you are ready, click Review Your Shipping Order. Check your shipping order one more time and choose Proceed to Checkout. Your delivery is all set. If you want to ship your car now, go to Ship Your Car Now.
Ship Your Car Now provides a full suite of vehicle shipping services for all types of businesses. That's why Ship Your Car Now offers trusted carriers, good paying loads that pay fast. Visit shipyourcarnow.com. That's it. You got it. Carlos got it. Carlito's way. All right. Man, awesome stuff. All right, here we go. Let's do this. It is now time. We are ready for Industry News Part 2. The Weekly Pulse. We're right on time. Here we go. Top news. CarMax. Quarterly net income used car sales plunge. The giant used car retailer said net income fell 57% to $69 million in the quarter ending February 28th. I guess that was their quarter ending. Used vehicle retail giant CarMax on Tuesday reported a steep downturn in net income and fewer retail used vehicle sales. Across the board, everybody's reporting lower numbers. It retailed 169,000 used vehicles in the quarter, down 13% from a year earlier. Comparable store used vehicle sales fell 14%. And here at the bottom, I've got Q4 net income. Can't read it. Yeah. $69 million, down 50% from a year earlier. Numbers are down, which is why it's always interesting when you see other articles like, numbers are up, numbers are up. Okay. Sure, man. How's that working for you? Vehicle Acquisition Network, a company we run into regularly at live trade shows, is rebranding a suite of solutions. The Van suite of solutions now includes Fuel, Converse, Engage, and Navigate. Excuse me. Van Fuel can monitor a dealership's market area for predefined vehicles being offered for sale. Fuel gathers updates from more than 18 providers in the U.S. and Canada. Fuel also can remove salvage, dealer, and undesirable vehicles before they ever make it to a dealership's results. Van Converse can provide in-application communication with private sellers. Van Engage is a full-featured seller relationship management system within the application. Has follow-up and appointment setting features that can be planned into custom tasks. Keeps track and provides reporting on contacts, offers, appraisals, acquisitions in every step of the funnel. Van Navigate leverages a Google Chrome extension that can enable dealers to work with the van solutions without leaving the listings provider page, and allows users to update notes and add seller information. Lots happening at Vehicle Acquisition Network. Rapid Recon rolls out Drive to 5, reinforcing dealership reconditioning best practices. This is pretty cool. Rapid Recon now offering more resources to its clients without an additional cost. No extra cost. The originator of reconditioning time-to-line software for dealerships launched what it's calling Drive to 5, a 5-part series of performance modules for users of Rapid Recon dealership workflow software. Product training is pivotal to return on investment satisfaction. So, as every part of every user's subscription, no added cost for dealers to benefit from Drive to 5 services. It gives subscribers access to Rapid Recon performance consultants, a team offering dealers more than 100 years of combined in-dealership experience. 5 modules delivered one-on-one live in the dealership and via phone team accelerated events. Fantastic. The 5 Drive to 5 modules equip users to manage and work Rapid Recon usage and featured tools, approvals, vendors, critical reports, reporting tools, continuous improvements, basic more thoroughly and confidently. For more info, contact Jennifer Marslak. She's been on this show as well. Fantastic. Drive to 5. Get ready for more AI news regularly. Here's a survey identifies AI trends for auto finance. I found this interesting. Especially with Auto Intel Summit coming up in, a week? Informed.IQ, a developer of AI-based software that verifies, streamlines, and optimizes loan processing, has commissioned a survey of auto finance executives to identify key areas where they're leveraging AI in their workflows and processes. Financial institutions and auto lenders have been using AI to make their operations smarter, cheaper, faster. Today's new AI-powered compliance software spots common defects during loan origination process, gap waivers, debt cancellation agreements. In fact, Tricolor gains a U.S. patent for AI-driven underwriting. New tool leverages data across Tricolor's entire integrated platform to give the power of self-selection when choosing and financing a vehicle from Tricolor. You get the deal you want. Utilizes machine learning to generate specific offers on both the vehicle model and the financing terms by leveraging information gained in the application process, connecting precise profiles to historical loan performance, proprietary data points. If a customer uses AutoMOS to incrementally lower the interest rate, I like this. This is interesting. When the customer decides to lower the interest rate by increasing the down payment, the interactive tool helps them understand the impact of increasing the down payment above the minimum amount to achieve overall savings. Not only do you get the deal you want, but the thing informs you of the choices you're making. This process allows Tricolor to acquire proprietary data, insight across the entire customer experience. So the customer benefits, the company benefits. It's a win-win of data. AutoRevo launches AI-fueled tool for vehicle descriptions. Really, AutoRevo. They're bringing AI to the marketing part of auto retailing. The software provider launched AI Vehicle Description Builder, what AutoRevo sees as an innovative solution that can address the challenges dealerships face in creating engaging, accurate, and consistent vehicle descriptions for their online inventory. Right? All that manual. Don't spend that time manually anymore. AutoRevo said the AI Vehicle Description Builder works in conjunction with inventory companies to produce high-quality, accurate, and engaging descriptions. Like I said, I use ChatGPT to make the trivia questions. You know how much time that saved me? I don't know. At least 15 minutes. The process starts with photography, capturing images of the dealership's inventory, then uses optimized descriptions distributed to dealership partners. AutoRevo said the automotive industry has long struggled with the time-consuming and resource-intensive task of generating effective vehicle descriptions. Let the AI do the walking? Okay. It's a really old ad, Jay. Reports a double brokering increase. Interesting. This is in Transport Topics. Always gets attention. Oh, and this was carriers, brokers work to prevent fraud. Ooh, really? Together? They're working together? That's crazy. Double brokering, when a carrier accepts a load and then illegally rebrokers it to another carrier. Yes, it's a thing. And it's on the rise, costing brokers and carriers millions of dollars, hurting legitimate businesses. Several red flags can alert companies to scams, and brokers said they're scrutinizing everything from ELD records to IP addresses to stay ahead of the fraud. Reports of double brokering have been ticking up since December. I don't know about you, but even just in social media, I'm seeing a lot more fake profiles. More fake profiles than ever before. And then all these package alerts and barristers and different hemispheres. There are two primary types of double brokering. In one, legitimate carriers accept loads but don't have capacity, so they double broker it even though they don't have authority. Yes, you can't do that if you don't have a brokering license. While it is still illegal, there are often no claims unless there is an accident or the load is damaged, right? What's the harm? Crash. With fraudulent double brokering, someone contracts with what they think is a legitimate motor carrier and then rebrokers the load. Another carrier accepts the load, expecting payment, and that payment is nowhere to be found. Double brokering presents a security issue. Brokers and shippers do not know who is actually in the custody of the goods. If something goes wrong, there's often no cargo insurance. Even worse, a higher risk of theft. We're going to keep our eye out. Tesla, did you hear this? Tesla hit with federal lawsuit over alleged privacy intrusion. Now, I don't get into stories of tit for tat and he said, she said. This is interesting, though. The lawsuit seeking class action status follows a Reuters report that Tesla employees privately shared sometimes highly invasive videos and images recorded by customers' car cameras. Doing what? A California Tesla owner is suing Tesla in a prospective class action lawsuit accusing it of violating the privacy of customers. Wonder how many people are going to jump on board of this ship. The lawsuit in the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of California came after a Reuters report that groups of Tesla employees privately shared via internal messaging system sometimes highly invasive videos and images recorded by customer's car. Hey, dear other guy in the building, did you see that crazy video of that crazy... Oh, what? No. The lawsuit alleges that Tesla employees were able to access the images and videos for their, quote, tasteless and tortious entertainment. Oh my gosh. That's a great idea for a company name. Tasteless and tortious entertainment. And the, quote, humiliation of those surreptitiously recorded. Like anyone would be, the plaintiff was outraged at the idea that Tesla's cameras could be used to violate his family's privacy when the California Constitution scrupulously projects. Well, what were you doing in the car, man? Okay. Particularly egregious. It's not funny, but it's a weird story, right? Is that where we're headed? Holy mackerel. No wonder drivers don't want cameras in their trucks. Okay, Jay. Stop with the making things worse stuff. And that's why we did that show last Tuesday night. Cybersecurity Champions here on ATI. We're trying to get ahead of it and talk about it. We had Max Graupner from Run Buggy talking about different ways of analyzing cybersecurity. It's huge. And it came about because we did this show, accounts getting hacked. It was a question. It wasn't a statement. People started talking about accounts getting hacked on Dispatching Live on a Thursday. And then there were hurt feelings and emails. And this one's new. We're going to talk about it Thursday. I don't want to get into it tonight. I'm not up for it. I'm just not into it, man. Join us Thursday on Dispatching Live, load board search advice, and whatnot. If you see this, you're dealing with a podcast. It's ATI. Get the podcast. It's ATI Auto Business, man. Listen to it outside. It's getting warmer. Listen to it while you mow. Call or text Ty. Send me an email. He's at 417-483-2764. You can send in the news. Is there an article? Is there something you want to share? You want to say hello? What's up, John Larrick? Thanks for saying hello, buddy. Zach Smith is here. Awesome. What happened to your bell? I muted it. There were complaints. Some guy was like, I can't listen to your show. Your bell's too loud. Join us on Friday, I said to him. He says, why? You got more bells? I said, no, man. Dan Kennedy's going to be with us Friday. And Mike at Claim Genius. Really, Jay? We were live at Car Conference. That was a few weeks ago. It already seems like, man, how long ago does that seem like? What was that? 2 weeks ago? And then Ty was live at Repo Summit last week. And then, he was up on a panel. Check this out. I made a slide. At North American Repossessor Summit, there was the Transport Crisis panel. You won't see this anywhere, only on ATI. Thank you very much. Thanks for the photo, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. See what happens here? Dude, I'm serious. Send me an email. autotransportintel@gmail.com. Send the photos. Send the info. Really? Yeah, it's that time of year. It's a dust-up. Auto Intel Summit, I think, is next week. Oh, my gosh. What is going on? Man, you guys are exploding. Yeah, Auto Intel Summit. Fintech is the word. We just talked about some AI fintech. AI. Look for it. It's going to be happening at Auto Intel Summit. And, in fact, Ty's on another panel. This guy, you can't get the guy off the stage now. Transparency and Transportation, Oxymoron or Future. Hosted by John Robertson of Ship Your Car Now. On the panel, you got Stan from Super Dispatch, Ty, Cars on the Move, Eric at Mannheim, and Alicia from Assertus. That is going to be awesome. And we're going to go live after that. Yeah, that's what... we're going to go live probably within an hour. Looks like he was asleep. I know. Should we go back to it? What is he... Ty, what are you doing? Oh, no, I think he's making notes. Oh, no, he's checking the microphone. And then you got now Najee was from Cox, Darcy, Indiana Recovery Services. I didn't catch the name of the gentleman with the microphone. But these are, you never know what. It's just a photo. It's a frame in time. What else we got here? We're almost done. I promise. Transparency and Transportation. That is on Wednesday. What's the date on that? Yeah, Wednesday the 19th. Yeah, we're going to go live right after that. That'll be great. Good stuff. Thanks, John. Next week, next Tuesday night, that's right, we just changed it. The Super Load Board Secret. That's the name of it. The Super Load Board Secret. And, hey, guess what? Tune in. They have swag. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Man, swag. We got to get some swag up in here. That's awesome. Yeah, that's going to be a great show. That's next Tuesday night. Tuesday Night's Live Super Dispatch. It's going to be awesome. Oh, and then we have Digital Dealer coming up in May. That's right around the corner. We're going to be live. We're going to do some Digital Dealer live stuff. Man, why not? How many conferences is that before? Oh my gosh, we're going to have I don't know how many conferences. We're going to have probably a dozen or more conferences this year. This is ATI. It's the Car Shipping Business Channel. Leverage it in your business. Guys, we don't ship cars. We move information. We're ATI. Let us help you. Help us. Help you. We're here to help. We want to help. Do me a favor. Stick around. Right after this, we're going to bring in Ty. We're going to start getting the Rapid Recon conversation going. We're right on time. We'll be right back.
Ship.Cars. Intelligent car shipping made simple. auctions and dealerships get ready to modernize drive-away dispatching. As part of the auction experience, Ship.Cars now offers drive-away to help shippers dispatch small loads with ease. Moving single vehicle loads typically requires a lot of time, paperwork, and phone calls. With drive-away, shippers create loads in LoadMate Pro and dispatch directly to drivers, who are notified automatically, eliminating manual calls and paper dispatch. Once the load is in transit, shippers receive progress updates until delivery. Ship, dispatch, track, and deliver single vehicle loads for auctions and dealerships. LoadMate Pro, shipper platform. Visit Ship.Cars.
Auctions and dealerships modernize drive-away dispatching. With intelligent car shipping tech, ship, dispatch, track, and deliver with LoadMate Pro shipper platform. Visit Ship.Cars. Thank you so much for hanging around. Really do appreciate it. Here, let's do this. It's time. He's getting the buttons ready and the ding and the thing. Up in the pictures and the live chat and the whatnot. Oh, here, let me do this too. Let's see here. And away we go. All right. It's 10 to 8. Are you ready? Uno momento, por favor. So, let's see. What else? Anything else? Oh, okay. Ready? Here we go. All right. All right. Yeah, no problem. Here we go. Hey. ATI live. Take 2. And we're back. Here we go. Check. See
Audio.
me, hear me?
Yeah, good. How are you?
All right, cool. Yeah, man. Right on.
You feeling it?
Feeling it. Working the flow. I mean,
Yeah.
I was working on this show right up until I think I stopped working on the show at 6:56. I'm not kidding.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Been a busy day for
Whirlwind.
sure.
Yeah.
So, real quick, I got several things we're going to run over
Cool.
real fast.
Yeah,
okay,
go.
last week, NARS. I was at NARS. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you mean it's crazy? Well, just so everybody knows, that those are the repo people. The repo people and the transport people typically don't get along. To invite a transport guy down and then put him on the stage is a really big deal for ATI. To me, it really demonstrates the ability of everybody to come together at ATI to talk about what they're good at, what they're not good at, what they need to know, what they don't know. And then to have these relationships where next thing you know, we're down there hanging out with them. So really big deal. Met a lot of amazing people and listened to their stories. Also, one of the things, big takeaways that I saw at the repo show was a lot of these repo guys are starting to transport their own cars from their lot to the auction. And they're looking for ways to have, they need carriers too, good carriers, kind of like the brokers are always like, Ty, I need good carriers. So that's a great show. Thank you, Location Services. Thank you, Jose, Ken, Miriam. Met a new Miriam.
Yeah.
Great interview with Miriam. Super smart. Learned a lot about risk, RISC. That's where she came from. Now, I mean, I was thinking about that too. That's a big deal for Location Services to hire somebody from that space and bring them in. That shows to me the level of seriousness where Location Services is at. Okay. Whew.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, Location Services has what Rapid Recon has, which is connections all over the place.
Yeah, they do. And, I was sitting there, I was looking at my face while she was talking during that interview, and I thought, what's wrong with my face? Well, what was wrong with my face was trying to consume what she's saying. I mean, they're massive. What they're doing is crazy. It's just, I was thinking like titles, delivery, transportation keeps going. Whoa.
When you're bold enough to say end to end, you have a list of services and departments. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
is a bold statement.
Yeah. Well, they're good people. I really enjoyed hanging out with them. We got to see our friends, Brianna and Corey Cox. Again, just met a lot of people. So,
The Repo
nothing.
bunch.
Yeah, that was good. Going to Auto Intel Summit next week. Looking forward to that. Thank you, Bill Zadite.
Yeah, thank you, Bill.
Nick. We saw Nick.
Auto
Nick was there.
Nick Zulovich, yeah.
Got to talk to him.
Shout out to Joe Overby, Amanda Dunlap, Lisa White. Yeah.
Yeah. Joel
Cherokee
Kennedy.
Media.
Thank you, Joel Kennedy, too.
American
we can
Recovery
just keep going.
Association. I know. Vaughn Clemens.
Yeah,
And
Vaughn.
Ryan Miller.
Yeah.
I
spent
know.
a lot of time with
and then you
those
met
guys.
a bunch of people live. So if you go back and watch that live at Repo Summit show, made a bunch of new friends that we're going to try to get some of those folks on different shows. This is why it keeps growing. That's why it gets harder and harder to manage this. I've got folders on folders. You know how much archiving of files and organization? It's really a lot. But it's exciting. It's super exciting.
It's good times ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so I brought a couple slides. I don't know if you have them.
Yeah, let me bring those up. All right. So here, I'm gonna share the screen, and then hang tight, Bob Wolf. We got Bob and Nick joining us soon.
This is right up Bob Wolf alley. Okay, go perfect. To. Let me see. What's that one? So go back. Okay. Next one.
Okay.
That's one? The graph. That one. What's that one say? There we go.
Peter Smith. I agree with Bert. 45 days is your peak.
Yeah, keep going. Everything after becomes aged, however dependent on the market you may need. Okay. All right, Bert. Here we go. Look at Bert Davidson. Watch this. This is our segue into tonight's show. Nothing good happens to a used car after 45 days. Wholesale it, take it, your profit or your loss, and move on. Okay. Now, Brian Kramer, go back to the very first slide, I think. You guys all know Brian Kramer. You should know Brian Kramer if you don't. So Brian, by the way, this was a post, okay? Brian didn't post this. You remember our friend Susan that we met with A to Z Sync?
Oh, Susan Moritz, A to Z Sync, yes.
Yeah, this is her post. She's with a new company. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. Cambridge or Camington or Cameo, whatever it is. But she throws out this question: how long is it too long for inventory to sit on your lot? So the big guy is like a Brian Kramer guy. He's here. Look at my chart. Here's what I'm seeing. Now, I did a really bad job. I could have taken a picture of just the chart, but basically he's just showing you, you don't want cars after 45 days. That's a bad idea. Right? You just don't want that. And then you see the yellow and there's 90 plus days.
Oh.
Yeah. Bad idea. Okay, so then the next slide and then we'll be done.
Yeah, cool. I like it. This is good.
No. I'm sorry. Back to that other one.
Okay. Back to the original. This one?
No, back to the other one. I'm sorry. Brian Kramer. Right here. There we go. Sorry. Okay. I think the better question would be, do you actually adhere to your turn policy? Most dealers have a 60-turn policy, but 37% of used car inventory is over 90 days old. Most dealers have a 60-turn policy. It means in 60 days it's gone. But 37% of the used car inventory is over 90 days old.
How is that possible?
Okay, so I'm excited about tonight, and I'm excited about our friends here, because here's the thing. As a transport guy, it's real simple. It's the most simple thing you can possibly imagine. The work and everything else is really hard, but this is what you wrap your brain around. When somebody says, I have a car and I need you to move it, they're not kidding. It's not a joke. It's not on your time schedule, are you going to pick it up, and when are you going to deliver it? And now we're going to learn why these people call you with their hair on fire, flames coming out of their eyes. I mean, you might think maybe they're Cocaine Bear at this point, when actually I think you're Cocaine Bear. So you both think each other's Cocaine Bear at this point, right? Somebody's going to eat somebody. So I'm excited about tonight, because this is why transportation is important. And to understand tonight's show will do you well. There you go. Bring on Bob. Wait till you meet Bob.
We're going to bring on Bob. But yeah, that's why when you pull in and you take a breath and you just kind of, you're there. You're good. You walk up and you're good to go. They're ready to freak out. Their day just started.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Let's bring in Bob. First, let me get that stuff off the screen. Thank you so much for jumping into the live chat. Really do appreciate it. Please do. Okay, Bob, fire it up and get it ready, because here you're about to join. Let's see here. Now, wait a minute. Now, I wonder if I've got Bob and Nick together. Not sure, but we're about to find out live. So let's see what we got here. All right, here, stand by. Right now, with rates, I'm sure most are way over 90 days old. Well, it's interesting. You said this is gonna be interesting, because this is where, yes, you've got the carrier side, even the brokers and the shippers meet the dealer view of what they're focused on, moving inventory. And also, Ty, you've seen, Bob, and I don't know if you can hear me or not. Ty, I know you have seen, or I'm assuming you've seen, some of the wholesale numbers at auctions are saying are up.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Yeah.
But were they just talking about EVs, or are they talking about inventory or sales?
Sale dollar, like the price of the used car.
That makes sense. Not volume. Not volume.
No, not volume. But no, you won't hear that for a while.
Yeah.
Is that Bob?
Hey, there's Bob.
Hey,
Bob, what's
Bob.
happening? Hey.
Good to see you guys.
Hey, thanks for taking the time. Please jump in, say hello, tell us a little more about you.
So thanks for having me. My name is Bob Wolf. I am a Director of Operations for the Rohrman Automotive Group, and I cover 5 stores in the Chicagoland North Market. So that is Arlington Heights, Illinois, up into Gurnee, Illinois, which straddles the Illinois-Wisconsin border. And they kid around. They call me the Director of Wisconsin because I have the one Wisconsin store right over the border, Kenosha, Wisconsin. If you've ever been up there, the Brats stop right on the border. Rivalry, Bears, Packers, have Bears, have Brats, throw down during Bears, Packers rivalry week. So that's where my Kenosha Nissan store is.
Sounds like
5 stores.
Sounds like a definite place to go.
It's a good spot to go for sure. Yeah.
That's the one you hang out the most at? Is that where we find you, Bob?
No, because my house is too far away. I got to drive home. So that doesn't work out really well if you have a couple beers and drive 50 miles. So don't try that.
Don't do that. No.
Amen. So, all right. So I was kind of watching some of the stuff we talked about to get to prep and talk about what we're talking about tonight. How do we jump back into? There was several things you really started to. You had a lot of material and a lot of things to talk about. Will you just cannonball right into this fixed ops conversation about reconditioning, dealer margin? Where's a great place to start?
Well, I mean, I think you could talk about that. The last couple of years on COVID, they were great years. It's been a great 2 years, but I think that you'll see that if you talk to most dealers, they're still doing well, and depending on a lot of factors, but overall, margins are declining a little bit, softening. New car inventory is coming back a little bit, and inventory it's been challenged. We've had a drop, and I know you guys were just talking a little bit about price increase, so now we've got a price increase in inventory again. And, one of the things a couple years ago, I was challenged with how do I drive more used car ROI, and not just the COVID market, but any market moving forward, and preparing for that inevitable change back to closer to normal. And it really the recon track really just struck with me. And so I began seeking out a tool at NADA 2 years ago to try to help facilitate recon, and so that's where it all started for me.
Ty.
Go ahead.
Ty.
Oh no, I was just sitting here. I was like, oh yeah, that's how he remembered. That's how he met Dennis. Was at the conference. Is that right?
Correct. So NADA 2 years ago at Las Vegas, I met Dennis. I met Hugh from Recon Velocity. A couple other. There was a recon track guy I met. And my roots really are in the car business. Spent most of my time as a used car manager, and a lot of people call me a lot of things. I'm instant offense. I love used cars, but tell you one of the biggest things that I think from a variable guy versus a fixed guy is that we're variable, right? Sometimes we're a little scatterbrained, and so I've seen a lot of people with recon processes, but I've seen not a lot of them on paper executed, right? And if it's not written, and if nobody knows where their accountability piece is to it, then it's really not a process. And I think with the speed in such variable movement in used vehicles, and the necessity to get that used vehicle to the front line as fast as possible, a recon tool or some sort of recon system, software is essential. And I think one of the things I was reading Dennis's book in Las Vegas. I spent an extra day there poolside at the Trump Hotel. I just read his book through it. Used cars are melting ice cubes, which we know they are, and it's the holding costs on a used car. I think that a lot of car guys don't really think that's real for some reason. They I don't know if they don't get it. They get their head stuck on gross profit, but like in our group, for example, the average holding cost is around $60 a car, $60 per day. If you're running a $3,600 round trip, which we'll pound our chest and say, hey, I'm running almost $4,000 a car, we don't really realize that you can only hold that car maximum for 60 days at $60 a day at $3,600 round trip, just to break even after doing all that work to pay the transport guy, to have him stand fishbowling you in the showroom to tell you, hey, you need to check on delivery on demand, and stock the car in and get it ready and get it photoed and buy it and pay the auction, and everyone gets paid, and you pay the salesperson, and the dealership nets out $0. So I think a lot more people really should pay attention to the recon speed, because it's a hidden cost. It's a hidden fee. It's like going to having a brokerage house and they're charging you 2-3% to manage your money and telling you did a great job because you got a 5% return, but you don't really have much left.
Wow. So okay. So sorry if I messed this up, but the 60-day deal that we just were talking about,
yeah,
it sounds like 60 days might be the kind of the industry standard or average. Is that fair or not fair?
Well, I think when you look historically, 60 days seems to be the mark where a lot of traditional dealers will set a hard turn at 60 days, some 90. But maybe that is where it came from sort of NADA guidance at 60 days. But do the math. I mean, if you're not making 3,600 a car and you're running 2,500 a car, and you get to your holding cost is $60 a day, you're losing money well before 60 days. So, with a more regular model of kind of used car market, and I don't think the used car market's going to fall out. I'm not a predictor, but until new car inventory really stabilizes and becomes more normal in terms of new car volumes, used car market won't get back to its traditional sourcing with off-lease vehicles and that. But I just think if you're not paying attention to your holding costs, you're just you're playing Russian roulette with your money. And often, and let's be real, most of it's not our money. We're managing money. Really, dealer principals or owners, which they got a gun to our head. So we've got to manage it. We got to be fiscally responsible with their dollars. They're not ours.
Right. So this is where Rapid Recon comes in, and this is the reason I want to bring that 60 days up, is because from the time the guy buys a car, the transport guy gets it, shows up at the lot. It's got to go through the service department and the detail department at a minimum. That's if everything's okay. And so now we're okay, does the 60-day clock start when the check is written for the car? That's my first question.
So Dennis calls this time to line, or Rapid Recon. They call it time to line. And I think I talked to so many car guys, and they all just want to sort of like, well, it doesn't start until it gets off the transport truck. That's really how old it is. And you can go round and round and round and this. Here, you put money on it. The money is rotting. It's depreciating. And it's starting from the minute you put the dollars on the transaction. So I think, you start talking about time to line. That's Dennis's most important KPI. I mean, there's nothing really truer than that. How long does it take me to put money on a car and get it entirely through its process and on the front line to sell it?
Yeah, which is really crazy.
It's not that complicated. I mean, it's my Hall of Fame football coach from Illinois, Tom Wonecki, once told me, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. I think we overcomplicate it, and we're looking for some type of golden goose, and it's really, there isn't a golden goose. It's called, process and work.
Right.
Oh,
Jay?
I say the wrong button, but I want to say this is that just as the carrier is focused on cost of insurance, cost of the truck, cost of the trailer, your holding cost is the cost of holding that vehicle. That's why at that 60-day point, if it hasn't moved, now you're throwing good money after bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, here,
one way or another, we need to move this.
Yeah, if $3,600 is your round trip on a used car, meaning front and back, meaning front end gross profit over your costs and finance profit, raw gross, we're not even talking, that's your profit, $3,600, and you're in 30 days, that's $1,800. So if you're running $2,000 a car in 30 days, you're breaking even essentially. So you 60 days may be too long.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but this money that we're talking about is typically attached to, associated with what I believe car dealers call a floor plan. Is that right or wrong, or where am I at there?
We're talking about used cars, and most car dealers have a floor plan on used vehicles. Some dealers pay cash for their vehicles, but you have your lot holds X amount of cars, and that space is worth X amount of dollars. And so when you talk about, holding costs, you're talking about your overhead and your expense. Your personnel expense is heavily tied into that number, and then your depreciation. If you are floor planning your cars and you have that interest factor, that overhead to factor in, and even if you pay cash for your cars, you have an opportunity cost that you're losing by holding on to a spot or holding on a car way too long. So I think the opportunity cost is big to me. Like, that spot is worth X amount by your turn and your how many cars you sell and your planning volume. And when you hold up a spot more than it needs to be, there's an opportunity cost there as well. The customer, the trade-in you could have got on the next deal. And so you could kind of go, you can go infinite of what the possibilities are, what you're actually missing. I think the holding cost is a way NADA calculates it, or Rapid Recon is just sort of like a baseline known, but there's those unknown knowns that, in my mind, those are the ones that keep me up at night.
Oh, give me an example of an unknown known.
Yeah.
Well, an unknown would be, hey, if I could turn this car a little faster, the next customer, I get a trade in out of that car. Maybe that next trade was a better position than the original car was in. Maybe I could sell that car within 30 days and get another trade, or maybe they finance with me, or maybe that customer's awesome and sends me 3 referrals. So there's, our financial statements only show us what's left over. They never show us what goes into that actual number or what the opportunity is. And I think there's an opportunity cost. And there's a balance we have to strike between volume and gross. Definitely is, because if you're a low gross guy, it pressures the organization. But there's that balance of volume and gross, and the customer is without a customer, without a sale, it starts there. So guys that like to hold cars for 90 days to make a 5-pounder, probably netting a loss, and they might not even realize it. And probably likely that's true, unfortunately.
This is why variable ops never sleeps.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they asked me this last month or two, and I've had a lot of sleepless nights.
Well, now, time out. So you came from used car sales, you general manager, general sales manager, used car, new car. Is that what you said?
So I grew up in the business in the Chicagoland market. I spent a lot of my time with the Napleton Automotive Group, and I actually got a chance to work under Fran Napleton, the original grandfather there. I remember when I turned on online buying, and he was like, he thought it was cool. And then he started realizing that I was adding inventory, and I took double durations in managing used cars and fundamentals. And I spent a lot of time as a used car manager, as a new car manager, as a general sales manager, general desk manager, and salesperson. And then I got a chance to spend 5 years at Cox Automotive and sort of reinvent myself from car guy to serving into the car industry for 5 years, selling on some of the largest clients, dealer groups in the country. And that was a whole nother experience to go from automobile inside a dealership to serving dealerships outside, and serving them as their performance manager or C-suite sales executive. And I think that groomed me for the role that I'm in now in terms of the leadership. It added more towards, from the marketing, the advertising side of it, and some of the fundamentals that, quite frankly, when you're in the dealership world, you're focused on what's happening now. And sometimes the big picture, you're working day to day or month to month, and you lose focus on some of the other opportunities that you can learn. And I certainly got a great education there. I got to see what a lot of innovative dealers are doing across the country. So I think that helped me prepare me for the role that I'm in now.
In the role you're in now, you're over 5 dealerships in the state of Michigan.
Illinois.
Except for one in Illinois. Well, yeah, I'm sorry.
Illinois. One's in Wisconsin, yeah.
Okay. And so over 5, that's a lot of cars. If I'm going to guess, used car inventory, what are you looking at? 600, 800 more?
So I would say right now, we've really focused coming out of COVID and out of this last year on running a little leaner in terms of investment, making smart investments in the vehicles, and managing a tighter turn and a tighter dealer day supply and market day dealer day supply inventory. And our director team, our Ryan Rohrman, our CEO, does a great job managing that. We bulked up during COVID. We went after stocking our lots when nobody had cars. I mean, we were obviously our group was in a really good position compared to a lot of others. We had cash and we had used cars when a lot of people didn't have inventory. Now I think there's a little more market volatility, and we've taken a little bit more prudent stance. And so I'm managing a little less used cars. So probably I'm around 600 used vehicles on my platform right now. And the 3 stores that we partnered with originally with Rapid Recon, those are probably just right over 300 in terms of what's on the ground usually there total.
Wow. So the point where I was going with that is 600, 500, 800, the number 600, let's go with 600. That's a lot of cars for one guy to keep up with. Is that, I mean, because somebody's got to buy them.
It's impossible for one guy to keep up with it. I mean, the reality is that, from our CEO is an active CEO, and he puts a lot into the operational strategies of the group. And I'm supported by a multiple pronged director team. And I have obviously my general managers, and the way we operate as our general managers are the CEOs of their stores. So we sort of feed them the principles and hold them accountable, but they get to operate within those walls. So it's an entire team that it takes to get that done.
An entire team, still a lot of cars, and somebody's got to keep track of them.
Sure.
Somebody's got to buy them. Somebody's got to transport them. Somebody's got to get them through service department, recon them, detail them, get them to the front line, time to line. And then somebody's got to sell them, which we'll have you on. I want to have you on we're going to do another show about sales, the sales guy. I mean, everybody always forgets about that poor guy. He's got a real hard job, in my opinion. But anyway, so you're dealing with a lot of cars, a lot of moving parts, and you were kind of going crazy about it. You're having some problems or some trying to figure out a better way to do it. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, so it started really with the 3 stores I called the Arctic Circle. It's the farthest realm of the Rohrman Automotive Group, which spans Indiana, Illinois, and the one lone store in Wisconsin. And my role changed. I was put on more of a focus on these 5 stores, and the 3 stores up in I call it the far north. They consist of a Nissan store that is a newer point historically and moved its market location years ago, and a Volkswagen store that obviously Volkswagen. It's a great brand. They're growing. We're super excited about what Volkswagen's doing, but historically for us, it was a challenging store. And then we have a Hyundai store up here in Gurnee. All those stores collectively didn't really have a great process for managing recon. And so we partnered with Dent Wizard at our Kenosha Nissan location, and we had our cars coming from Volkswagen and Hyundai, which is about 20 miles, 15 miles south of Kenosha Nissan, going into Kenosha to do light body work, PDR, ding dent, tires, headlight restoration, photos. We have a photo booth up there and detail. And so really to manage the workflow, it was probably the reason why this isn't a, this is probably the reason why there's a lot of software tools out there that could help dealers manage their workflow when it comes from their used car recon.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact was that we had an outside vendor partner that was managing the transport and the photo and the detail and that recon, which was DentWizard. And Rapid Recon has a part of their software. It's called Vendor Vantage, and it allows the vendor to see the vehicles coming into their system to manage their workflow. I call it the Bermuda Triangle. If we have these vehicles moving from multiple locations into one location, how are we going to keep track of them? And I needed that visibility, and so that was really one of the reasons. Top 3 reasons probably we chose Rapid Recon is we could manage what our vendor partner was doing and hold them accountable. And so from the time we started with that process to the time to near recently, we're still working on it, but we shaved 2 days off of the time of transport on those cars.
Wow. Well, that's to me, Jay, I'll see what you think, but to me, that's a pretty good segue into bringing on the gang. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is now a good time for that?
We're going to bring in Euwart. So Euwart, get ready to go. But I really like, Bob, a lot of the elements you're bringing up. I think that as we look at, if we just were to look at logistics and transportation, you can see how aspects of what you do are playing a part in the time to line and reconditioning strategy and cost that is front and center. Even Jim put in the live chat, how do fixed ops people work with variable to meet timelines? Jim put that in there. It's a great question.
So generally, and this is probably general, this is not the meat and potatoes of maybe what you're looking for, and this is something that I think the online or a digital tool facilitates. I think, Dennis talks about this. This is another point that stuck in my head reading his book, and I innately knew this, but it's like just slapping, throwing more water in your face. Like, okay, what are you going to do about it? But it's like, if we're focused on digital retailing, which is, digitally allowing customers to transact, and we want it to be faster and easier, and all those things are great. But if we don't have we can't manage the digital reconditioning process, then how are we truly digital retailing cars? Like, if we can't get them through faster and we sell them slow and we're horrible at selling them, what does it matter if we got a digital retailing tool slapped on our website? Like, if we want to be modern, we have to have a digital recon flow process. And I don't know, for some reason, there's a lot of people out there in the industry like, well, hey, I don't really see a need for that. Or I got a spreadsheet, I got sticky notes, I got this, I got that. That really doesn't work. There's some people out there have great spreadsheets.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hey, I personally don't have the skill set to build out a spreadsheet and spend 3 weeks on it. But by the time that I do that, the owner's probably asking why we're not operationally profitable. So.
At some point, every spreadsheet user says, there's got to be a little bit of a better way.
100%. And so one of the things you asked is like, so variable and fixed. One of the things that I truly believe in is to get rid of the silos. Like, and that's something that, I know Dale Pollock talks about that, right? And there's not a lot of people that truly, there's a difference of knowing and then doing, right? And then I think that's where the digital tool started for me, is like, I could bridge that divide. As a used car manager in some of my best performing times and as in my career as a used car manager, daily communication was fundamentally critical with my service director or manager. It was like that.
Yeah, transportation has been a silo. I know. It's controversial, Jay.
Yeah,
but, right? This is what we're talking about, breaking down the silos. Let's do this. We have so much more on deck to look forward to. So, Euwart, please do warm up the camera. And I know you've been really chomping at the bit to join us. So here we go. Euwart Burrell Anderson is joining us now. And thanks for jumping in the live chat. and chiming in and joining our conversation here. First time on ATI. We're lucky to have him. Go ahead and get, we're on camera one right now, get everything situated and set. All right, here we go. Euwart, can you see us and hear us okay?
See and hear you just fine.
Perfect. Please do say hello and tell us a little bit more about you. Gang, we're really lucky to have Euwart here with us. Euwart, take it away.
Sure, I'm glad to. So I'm Euwart Anderson. I'm with Vehlo. I'm the EVP and GM of our dealership division, and that entails 5 brands: Dealer Logics, Text to Drive, Service Lane E-Advisor, Rapid Recon, and Velocity Recon. Based in Dallas, and excited to be here.
Great. All right. So one of the things we're going to do is we know that Vehlo acquired Rapid Recon, but beyond that, I don't think we know very much. Can you shed some light on that for us?
Sure. So in short, that's a good tee up as well. In short, we're coming out of the shadows a bit as it relates to kind of our presence, and NADA was probably, I'd say, our biggest splash so far in the space. We've been up to this point focused on a few verticals, all of which are centered around automotive service and related software as a service. So we've started to dig in and really kind of make our presence known as it relates to a few things in service specifically that we felt were opportunities and frankly voids in the market, and we wanted to get out there and challenge those voids. And those last 2 moves I refer to are the acquisition of Rapid Recon and Velocity Recon, to frankly corner that space, and we combine them now with what we bring to the table with the other 3 brands I mentioned earlier to really optimize both the customer experience, being the dealer, that's our customer, the dealer's customer experience being the consumer, so that they are retained and they come back and they have great service. They have trust, they have relationships built with those who provide them service. And we create revenue and profitability for those dealers along the way, right? If those first 2 don't happen, we know that third won't happen. And we've seen it time and time again in the market.
Whoa.
Perfect. Okay.
That's a big deal.
That is really big
Thanks,
deal.
Euwart, for coming on.
We're gonna bring in Dennis in a minute, but before we do, I just want to spend a little bit of time here. Who wants to take it from there? Who wants to?
I'll just chime in on customer
experience,
because it's something that we're really focused on in our group. In fact, it's part of our core values. When our CEO took over from his grandfather, that was one of the first things that he founded was, the purpose and mission statement, and it really centers around, awesome experiences, and then, how do we want to do business? We want to be transparent, we want to be innovative, we want to be personable, and we want to be servant minded. And to say that and do that it doesn't happen magically. It's day to day. It's in the grind. It's one hire at a time. It's training. It's how you set that training. And they've done a great job from the corporate standpoint of driving that down. And it's all about that customer experience, because at the end of the day, we're in a world that's more competitive than ever. You look at AI and you look at technology, but there's one thing that fills that the technology experience is awesome, but people still want to do business, I believe, relationally with people. And I think that's where that magic dust happens. And you got to be more than transactional, I think, to really separate yourself today. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you could do that. Maybe COVID was one last bastion for dealers who could decide that they didn't want to do it the right way. Cars appreciating, I'm sloppy in buying in preparation for buying, whatever habits were, but things were inflated. And but that's pretty much coming to an end. And if you are not driving that experience and that relationship, you're not going to be profitable.
Well said.
Wow.
I think the other kind of caveat to that's really interesting is we want to create those experiences for consumers, but it starts with the experience we create for the users in the dealership, making platforms easy to use, creating optionality for them so that they can use what's comfortable, and taking all that complexity and sophistication that creates value and making that simple. And I think when we do that for the technicians, for the service managers, for the GMs, for the parts managers, when we create that fixed ops excellence, that transfers into an excellent experience for a consumer. And it really starts with the former and kind of lands in the latter, right? And all of the other financial components we want to see kind of happen.
Yeah, no, when you look at it from the dealer's perspective, how many times is I think of myself as in the dealer, inside the dealer, embedded in the dealership, having multiple logins, multiple operating systems that don't communicate with each other, and how much time and friction does that cause? And when you're people that haven't been in the dealer world, they don't get it. I think it's a 10 to 12 hour breathing, living day that doesn't seem to end with no beginning, no end. It just kind of goes. And those enhancements in product usage and integrations, that goes a long way, because the end user is going to have a great experience when the people serving them, our dealer customers, the personnel, are having a great experience with the technology. So it totally makes sense.
You just said something, and I'm sorry, this may not be related, but when you said the technician, I was thinking of the service department. And I remember back when I was transporting, I had a bunch of trucks, we'd always come in, the service guys would, usually the service manager, which I would usually make friends with immediately, usually had some kind of a really bad attitude towards the guy who just bought the cars. So I show up with this cars thinking I did great. I got them there next day, right before noon, all 30 of them. The service manager walks out and he's ready to punch me in the face. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Well, come to find out, he wasn't too happy with the guy. But so am I hearing that this, what you guys are talking about, takes some of that away? Is that it all close or not?
For sure. I think there's some validity there, and Bob, maybe you can speak more specifically to how technicians and the parts department at large feels when and operates when there's rigor and consistency in how those cars are acquired and then managed through a time to line.
I mean, yeah, that's a big point. So, when there is no process or lack of process, it's a free for all. So maybe, Ty, you might be describing somebody who's overwhelmed. I mean, imagine working in multiple operating systems that don't talk to each other, and then there's no process on top of that. And then a transporter shows up and you're trying to close something out in 5 different screens, and you've got to, you were there at, from 7:30 in the morning to open up. You want to go home, but there's customers waiting that want to cashier out and close out tickets, and then all of a sudden the transport, one guy's in there with a flat tire, and another person's got a weird noise, and they want to return their car, and then also the transport guy shows up with 8 cars, 12 cars, and they got to get stocked in, but he's got his porter, on 5 other things. So yeah, I mean, and then the vendors, I think early on in our career, we all went to. I had a GM once, and he's just like, the vendor is your enemy. Get them out of your store. It was a rite of passage. You had to throw the vendor out like 5 to 10 times to vet him out to be if he was going to be a good partner. If he kept coming back after the 10th time you threw him out, then maybe you had a conversation to hear what he had to say.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. No, that's exactly
that's
it.
What it is. They're throwing you out. They're testing you.
That's why I say bring donuts every week. Drop them off at the same spot. Put your card on the top of the donut box and one inside.
Yeah, I had a GM who was a Marine sergeant, drill instructor. No, not a drill instructor. Actually, he was a Vietnam pilot, but he was a Army airborne helicopter pilot in Vietnam. But he ran the store like a Marine drill instructor, and he called the front of the store the foxhole, and the salesperson was in the foxhole ready to take the
foxhole. Oh, this is a movie. This is good. Yeah,
it was a movie, and he had the phone there. And so if you were not taking a phone call or talking to a customer, if you left for some reason, you had to relieve yourself by getting another salesperson to get in the foxhole. And even if you went to the bathroom, you had to page somebody to relieve you at the foxhole. And if you didn't do that, he'd come and lambast you. And if, God forbid, you started talking to a vendor and chit-chatting with a vendor or a wholesaler, I mean, it was like lightning.
Fire in the hole, right? Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It's like the Viet Cong have infiltrated the bowels of the establishment. It was wild. But yeah.
It's fantastic. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, Dennis. We don't want to leave Dennis out of the party, so
Dennis,
it is now time. Please do help us all wish a very warm welcome to. He's back again. He's back for more. Dennis McGinn is the CEO of Rapid Recon, and he's been patiently waiting in the wings. Thank you again for jumping in the live chat, saying hello. If you have a dealer operations question or comment, please do post it in the live chat. Dennis is here. He's with us. Dennis, can you see us and hear us okay?
Yeah, I could hear you without any electronics from here.
Right?
I'm only in Scottsdale.
Oh, yeah, sure.
yeah,
That's
we're
no
loud.
problem at all. Wonderful.
Hey, Dennis, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys. You guys look better than you did last time.
I got some sun today. Yeah, thank
I
you.
expect nothing less.
Hey,
Hey, you know,
for-
we were talking about your book, and I think I found the link. Is it the strategic T2L connect to what you expect?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna put the link in the live chat again. It looks like if you fill out a few fields, you can get a copy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Did you know that, Ty? We're gonna get the book.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna
Email
share
me the link, or well,
I'm gonna share the page too. It's right here.
do it.
It's you go to the my.rapidrecon.com/books.
I wonder, like, even all of our transport guys
I
could get a
know,
copy
right?
too.
Right? Get ready to
Yeah.
ship boxes of books, man. We're gonna get the word out.
Dennis, wow.
I know.
Yeah, stick $5 in there for me, guys. Just
You can do a $5 donation. That's
Yeah.
a deal.
Just
keep
your
it
name,
rolling.
title.
yeah, and I got to split it with Euwart now, so I probably
Oh no.
That was awesome, man. So, all right, shedding light, coming out of the shadows. We were talking about Vehlo and Rapid Recon and how this, the restructuring, what you're all working on.
Yep.
Dennis, you want to take the microphone on that?
Yeah. So this is, well, Euwart's the guy that probably has all the answers, but we're working hard on how to take these two companies and kind of create the best possible going forward alternative. We've added a lot of dealers to the base. Of course, we had a couple thousand. We added another 1,000 or so. They're a little different, but we've got some really great things coming down. I mean, both products are really excellent, but there's some differences, and so we're trying to figure that out and figure out how we're going to make a lot of money.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there we go.
And that's you, and so Euwart could probably pick this up.
Yeah.
Euwart's one of the reasons I kind of weighed in on this thing. I wasn't really planning on taking any outside capital, but once I saw him and I knew we had something special here, and also the Vehlo model, which is very unique in terms of how they reward people and how they grow the business. And they've got a lot of other, businesses that are complementary. So what's really cool about this is we're going to have some solutions that bridge fixed and variable, and nobody's got anything like it. So that's super exciting.
Ooh.
Whoa. Bridge fixed and variable.
Bridge fixed
Yeah,
and variable.
yeah.
Wow.
We already do
Little
that.
did we know. I didn't know.
Yeah, we already do that a little bit. In reconditioning, the variable guys have to approve the work to be done, and ultimately they're responsible for how much money's invested in the cars. But of course, the techs are doing the work, and the vendors are doing a lot of work. So it's really kind of a shared responsibility. It has to move very fast. But we've kind of stayed away from the customer pay part of the business, the service lane, because it has a lot of other needs and demands. And so what's really kind of interesting about this is it looks like we're going to be able to serve both these marketplaces, not right away, but I think there's some things that are being done by some of the other parts of Vehlo already that are quite successful that serve that market. So, I think we're going to be able to bridge these things so that there's a consistent look and feel to what we do for the people that do reconditioning and do service.
Wow. That's crazy. So if I'm hearing you right, it's obviously a big component of that would be the developers and the technology side to somehow make it work. But from the practical everyday boots on the ground, it's the guys that know what they're doing, talking to the guys that are trying to make this work. Is that what you're saying? That we're breaking, like I think Bob was talking about, breaking these silos down. We're having this guy talk to this guy to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, Bob's a customer, right? So he lives in the does it work for me part of this world,
right?
And so he could probably he sees both sides of the coin on this thing, and we've been very good on the reconditioning side. Recon Velocity was very good at kind of a different level, and we compete. We used to compete a lot, so now we're not, and so it's kind of like we're getting used to each other. But I think we really not neither one of us have done much in the customer pay arena, and there are a lot of reasons for that. But it's kind of fun. But you got this challenge because you got technicians that are doing both customer pay work and they're doing reconditioning work too, and they like to have the same thing on both sides. So that's the thing, and they're awfully important, right? Because they do the work.
Right. So here, let me try to break that down, what you just said, because I think I finally got it after the sixth time. I'm a little slow like that. But basically what you're saying is those cars that Jay and I are always talking about, the back end that somebody bought that we picked up at an auction, we're going to drop off. There's one technician, he's going to be working on Bob and Susie's car, changing the brakes, doing the oil change, maybe putting the new transmission rear end in it. Meantime, he's doing that in billing, right? Because he's the technician. He gets paid by flag hours or something like that, however they get paid. So he's getting paid because he's doing Bob and Susie's or Bob and Sally's car, whoever they are. But then we've got the cars that came in from the auction that Jay and Ty dropped off, different deal, and he's tired of having to keep up with what he's doing, because some of these techs, tell me if I'm wrong, but aren't there some techs that actually have like 2 bays that are like theirs?
I think so. Ask Bob. I mean, he lives in that world. He owns those operations. So I think so. I think that some of these techs can probably do 3 things at once, even though they are not in 3 places at once. I have it on some authority that they actually can do 2 things at once.
Yeah, I think there are those exceptional techs that are justified having multiple racks if you have them available. But I mean, you're not making money on a car unless it's racked. So if every technician had 2 racks, you're probably not running an operational efficient shop. But there are those that can manage that and make that work and book the hours. But I think Dennis is onto something when he's talking about operating 2 systems. I think sort of before the market was Rapid Recon, reconditioning lane. Nobody is really in that lane, in that space. DMSs didn't really have a management system for managing recon workflow, not only just from the mechanical side, but all the way through the whole chain. If the car's melting from day one, like we talked about, like I put money on the car, it's rotting now or melting or whatever, then you got to have visibility into that whole chain to be able to find the efficiencies in that process. So that's the magic, I think, of a tool like Rapid Recon. But what Dennis is talking about is a tech who's working on in one system, for example, like a DMS, but now they're logging in, doing duplicate work in Rapid Recon. I'm really excited to see where this goes because there's multiple competitors in the space. We just personally moved to a new DMS that can do a lot, but I'm really interested to see what what Vehlo does with Rapid and Recon Velocity, because I know this is a lane that you've owned, and it sounds like you want to go further out. And so I think that it's going to be exciting, because you talk about, I might get on my high horse about free market, but the forces that are driving this are going to drive innovation and ultimately dollars, hopefully, for Dennis, right? And hopefully you don't start charging me $5,000 a month for Rapid Recon tomorrow, because I don't want to renegotiate, Dennis. But you got to innovate, right? If you're going to ask for it, you got to innovate. You got to make it better. You got to improve. It's just exciting to watch the developers and all this go down.
Yeah, I mean, let Euwart talk about this, because I think he's at the intersection of all these things, and he can kind of see beyond what we were just doing with the reconditioning side of things and trying to, do more there, but then move further. You gotta.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, glad to share a few thoughts, and I think, I mean, Bob, like everything you just said is why the Bobs of the world are gold for us. Like that innovation is not going to come from us having some brainchild. It's going to come from feedback from customers who are experts in their space, who are committed to change and challenging the market status quo, and who are willing to partner with us and share that feedback, because it's not super common. We've all worked at places that are not necessarily open to that feedback. We are very open to that feedback. We're not only open to it, we seek it out. We need it. And that's how we're going to offer something to the market, and how we're bringing things to market now, even that are not only best in class, but which is an overused statement, but really are catered to the user. They're catered to the needs of the customer. And we need that feedback, right? Like the idea is that everyone working in a lane in Bob's dealerships are doing things in a manner that, not that Bob alone thinks are appropriate, but that are actually creating maximum value for the dealership and ultimately for the consumer, be it someone who's buying a car that's being reconditioned or someone who's getting their car serviced in a customer pay dynamic. Either way, and we all know that what are we great at? We're great at the things that we do over and over and over again. So by definition, we are not making a technician great by having them do 2 or 3 or 4 different processes in 2 or 3 or 4 different systems.
Throw that into the change that happens in automobile retail, which even in the best operators in the best of class dealerships, we have a little bit higher turnover than corporate America, right? For example. And so, if a GM sees multiple, like a change in a service director or a general manager, and you're bringing in a new system, and then you've got multiple systems and multiple launches, it's hard to get somebody's buy-in when you've changed something multiple times. So if you have something that's easy to use, that changes the game, and that becomes just an operating process and best-in-class standard, you just leave it and let it run, and then you get better at that. Like, again, back to my football coach that always said, keep it simple, stupid. Let's tweak one thing at a time. Multiple evolutionary changes become revolutionary. We don't need to find revolution. We need, great execution of evolutionary steps, step by step of the way. And then when you look back, you're like, wow, look what we did. So it's well said. So much fatigue for when you change systems, change multiple times. Hey, this is a new program. I mean, and a lot, and again, it comes back to the recon. I'll just come back to that. And just fixed ops in general, we hold 80 cents of every dollar in fixed ops. I mean, that blew my mind as I got in the scope of operations and moved beyond variables. We're holding 80 cents on the dollar here in the front. We're not holding that much money. So there's a lot on the line when it comes to service and dollars. So
kind of reminds me of I spent some time in Clubhouse on Friday mornings at All Things Used Cars. So I just like to listen to dealers. Weird. But when they talk about vendors, and Bob, I'm kind of talking to you. You're giving confirmation bias. You're confirming what I hear a lot in these Clubhouse. These dealers are talking about their vendors being a partner, not just somebody I'm sending money to every month. And then when I hear Euwart talk about, no, we really want this feedback. We really, and I can see that. What I've been hearing in live chat, I'm physically seeing with my eyes when I'm watching you two talk. And it's really, really cool, because I think you're both absolutely right. And then Dennis, what Dennis is saying, I mean, as a vendor guy, and I'm pointing this out because car hauler guys have a tendency to maybe not go talk to car dealers for whatever reason, and they don't understand. I tell them, you don't understand the opportunity you're missing out on here, because dealers will give you a chance. It might take 10 no's before the yes, but they're looking for partners to help them do better. And it's, I always say, it's what you give away is what you keep.
It's like
And
Fight Club.
Yeah,
Come
Fight
back
Club.
tomorrow. Sleep on the porch.
Yeah, you can get in. But it's really cool to watch you guys back and forth there. That was neat. Thank you.
I agree. Hey, John had a question in the live chat. Who sets up the auto transport to and from different locations? Anybody have anything to add on that? It's a good question.
Oh, Bob, we talked about this. Bob buys a lot of cars, and I think we decided, didn't we decide, Bob, with your stores that you you buy primarily online? Is that right?
Right. Multiple sources. So we've realized that, you have to have multiple fish hooks in the water right now. Going down to Manheim, Milwaukee and saying, hey, I want to get 20 of them, or going to Manheim, Detroit, the Ford sale, and knowing that you're going to have a lot of nice lease, low mileage return cars there, and coming back with a haul of 20. I mean, that those days are not happening. They're not there right now. Maybe that comes back 5 years from now when we get in a more regular cadence of new car sales volume and leasing comes back at scale. But right now, it's finding your best value within the parameters of your buying your buying parameters, your acquisition parameters, and then we also do a lot through at the curb. I recently had a vendor partner out here who does buying vehicles in the lane, Dominion Market Activator, which we use for sourcing vehicles in the drive. And I'm trying to attempt to do the same thing that we've done with Rapid. I tend to try to take one nugget at a time instead of try to attack 20 things at once. And so I'm trying to give their performance team, they could come out and do training and really hold our guys accountable to a great process to sourcing out of our own drive. And then, of course, we're buying off social media, Facebook, and we're actually at one location, we have a transport truck that will go out and pick up cars, and they'll do that anywhere we can do that and pick that up out of someone's driveway and cut them a check. So it's really an all hands on deck approach.
Right. Which sorry to interrupt you, but just listening to you talk, I'm thinking, okay, wait, you were at Naples up in Illinois, I think, is that what you said, for a number of years?
Yeah.
Napleton, okay. And so you probably remember the days where you only sourced your inventory from 3 places. That was auction on Tuesday, auction on Wednesday, auction on Thursday.
Yeah, and those interviews with if you're interviewing somebody and that's your strategy, you're looking for somebody more dynamic than that today. That if you're looking for somebody that's going to elevate that game, and you have to have you got to be off. Your blinders got to be off.
Yeah, and this is, so you're not only are you educating us, but you're confirming what I believe, which is today's dealer is buying cars maybe from an auction, and if he is, it's primarily going to be online, and it's going to be probably not the same auction every day, every week, every month, every year. It's going to be where I can find the car, like, I think about Sky Hallman, One Auction View. I want to buy all Camrys, huh?
We have one buyer who's one of, depending on the day of the week, he's one of our best buyers, and who you talk to. But I would say overall, he's really pretty good for an outside buyer. He starts his day at on East Coast time, then he moves Midwest, and he ends Pacific Coast sales. So pretty much he gets the full scope of any auction that he needs to hit with 9 monitors, 9 screens from morning to day to close.
Wow.
So you're talking about.
I want to see that in action.
Vehicles can come from anywhere, right? So you're looking. I think the mindset in this market's been best available. A lot of times,
right?
I only want to buy a Hyundai, and that's all I carry is Hyundai based. It's best available now. Are you? It's the win is in the buy. I guess that's an old adage, is that profitability is in the buy. Ask Dennis, he's bought and sold businesses. It's in the buy. It's in your position at a micro level on a car. I think right now it's in the buy with price being so inconsistent. You're buying the equity.
Right. So what I'm saying, what for educating us guys like me, okay, you used to buy at auction, you still do, you might, but it's primarily online. Now you're buying off Facebook. You're buying out of the service drive, the lane. You're even doing that to the point where you're paying somebody to come in and teach your sales guys how to appraise a car in the lane and buy it.
Yeah, or
So
have a
what I'm
multiple strategy. A lot of times it's just who's your guy doing that. Like I talked to so many of my dealers, and they're like, "Yeah, we have a strategy. We're buying from the drive." I'm like, "Well, how do you do it?" Well, this guy does it one day sometimes, and we do it. I'm like, "Hey, did you know you can go here and push a button and see all your cars in an equity position over the next 12 months?" And man, we can send them an email, we can send them a text, we can call them. We know when they're in the drive. Or are we working this?
Yeah.
And it's you got to discipline yourself to do that right now.
Yeah. So that's really good and very helpful information. Just to know that there's so much going on between acquiring a car, getting the car back to the shop, the store, the recon center, running it through, the time to line, as Dennis likes to talk about. Then we've got our turn. I don't know about you, Jay, but I feel like I'm ready to go to be a car dealer now. I mean, wow.
I tell you what, you know what's neat here is we've got in the live chat. Here's a great question from Gary at Gartha Logistics. What percentage of techs work on commission, or have you covered that? Anything to add on that? That was a great. I mean, it's very specific. I had to ask it. Thanks, Gary.
That's a Bob question, isn't it?
Yeah, so I would say that our technicians, unless they're brand new entry level, which you have to pay them hourly, are going to get paid for what they produce or what they book. And if you have a bunch of technicians that are just hourly guys, then generally the operating potential and profit for them and you is not going to be there to the max. So it's all about efficiency. It's all about how many cars you can book and wrench on with total available hours. Can you outperform your available hours? And that's really when you start talking about like Rapid Recon and maximizing your opportunities. That's why every hour, every second matters. Every second, every hour that something is not happening, it's costing you money. And I said that earlier. Like a lot of people don't understand that's we've said in an NADA 20 group, we have a super group, and our moderator is talking about boarding costs. And I just don't know how many people actually understand that. Boarding cost is real. Holding cost is real. It's not.
But Ty, my ETA is my ETA. All right? Capiche?
You got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, before we go, I want to, this boarding cost. I've heard this boarding cost. What's the difference between boarding and holding?
Holding, it's the same. I think it's synonymous.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I had some guys, California dealers, new car store, I think they were Toyota, ran into them at the NADA there in Dallas, this last one, and got to talk to them. They kept using boarding, and I was like, man, I didn't want to seem stupid, so I just pretended like I knew what they were talking about.
I mean, I remember last year at one of the super groups, I was sitting in the back of the room, and everyone's talking, and car guys, and hey, I'm better than you, I can make gross and all this stuff, and I just sat there and I tabulated on a manual piece of paper every store that was high operational profit, net profit, what you kept, what you stored out of the used car department, had a lower holding cost than the group average. It was at the top third of the group. Obviously, if you have the super great guys that can make a lot of gross, a great acquisition strategy that's holding more gross, that just compounds that number. But there was not one higher performer used car store that didn't have a process, whether through Rapid or a great use of a spreadsheet, because I had a guy that just loves spreadsheets. That isn't me, but they had that guy, and they had a sourcing strategy, an acquisition strategy, and they were able to get their cars through fast. There was not one guy that had a problem, a backlog that was sitting there at the top of the group average with used car operation profit. So as I sat there and I looked at that, like I was ready to go on to the next thing. I was ready to take action on that topic versus discussing. It was like maybe an hour debate about whether boarding cost was real or not. I was already moved past that. Like, I'm a big picture guy. I was already past that. Like, what am I going to do to take action? And coming out of that meeting really is where I was like, I'm going to NADA. A lot of people were looking at a lot of different stuff, a lot of good stuff, a lot of stuff that drove value. But I didn't think that there was one thing coming out of that meeting that was more important to drive profitability, especially when you're at a store that's a tier, not a tier store. You're not a Toyota store. You're not a Honda store. You're not taking all these great trades. You're not selling all these new cars. You're a slower in a sleepy market, a VW store or a Nissan store, and those stores had the worst recon times. So I was like, I got to attack this. I'm not blessed with great genetics. So how do you
That's good.
where do you chip away? Where do you chip away to eat away at this elephant? And I didn't think there was anything more important than for used car profitability and service profitability. I mean, we raised our internal rate. So we raised our internal rate and we put more cars through the shop. It was like our fixed ops guy who couldn't join us tonight was like, this is magic. This was a genius idea. Raise internal and get cars through faster, So
yeah. Wow.
Best things are simple.
Yeah.
Best things are simple.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go Euwart. Really nice to meet you. Thanks again so much for taking the time. It was really excited to see where this goes. And Dennis, of course, we always appreciate you, but after learning a little bit more about what you guys are collaborating on and watching it grow and seeing Bob's eyes get really big when you guys are talking about building stuff, and I just think that was really nice. This was a really fun show. I really enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks for the invite.
Yeah. Where's the ringing bell? Okay.
Where is it?
Come on, Jay.
Okay, here.
Where's the action?
There's the full ding. There, you can still hear it ringing slightly. And how about the little bit of applause? Huh?
Yeah. Where's your showman?
Well, I think I'm not hearing it either, Jay. It might be on this.
You can't hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, he
No.
can't? You
I
can't
can't
hear it?
either.
No.
No.
You got this bell
You're
last
never
night.
sharing
Well,
sound.
see, what I did was, here's the bell. Anyway.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, wait.
That was
Okay.
I got one quick
You can hear
question.
that? No?
Yeah, I got it.
No.
I got one quick question for Bob before we
All right.
sign off here. The last time we were on this show, we talked a little bit about how you're going to get all the cars from A to B or distributed out, and whether there was a way in Rapid Recon you could facilitate notifying some of your transport people that these cars are available. And so we just started to talk about that, and maybe it's something we can noodle with you a little bit later. But I wanted to toss this out to you, because somebody said, well, you got this work item stuff, maybe, and you can notify people like vendors. Maybe there's a way we can facilitate the transport side of this business too, which is, it's one thing to get the car through, and it's the next thing is, well, how do I get it to the right place?
Okay, Dennis and Euwart, I want you guys to remember this name. Jay put it or sent an email or something, but there's this guy named Beck, and he has this company called Super Dispatch, and he has a load board, Super Dispatch load board, and he's a pretty cool guy. And if you guys are starting to talk about transportation and alerts and notifications, there may be something here for the both of you.
Okay.
Beck,
Send me
Super Dispatch.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna send you. I'm gonna send an email right now. Bob, Euwart, Dennis, have you heard of Super Dispatch?
No, I've not.
No.
Okay.
I don't hang out in this particular area until I met you guys.
Hey, now that is an applause button. All right, and that's what we're talking. That is the power right there. That's what we say.
Yeah.
It's just that we have to wait for the merry-go-round to come back all the way around before we get back on that horse. But that's what makes this such a big deal. Is that now, Bob? Were you going to say? Had you heard of Super Dispatch? Maybe
just the one time Ty and I were talking about
when Ty was talking about it.
Yeah.
That's
well,
great.
their technology, and I think that you guys were just talking a minute ago, there's a lot of technology talk here that's not being said. But I get it, because you guys, I know we all know what we're saying. But as you were talking, I was thinking about Beck. He's a real nice guy, big technology guy. Been in the industry, for a long time. And there may be a way that you guys can help each other. That'd be cool. So that's where it's all started. I'm excited to see where Rapid Recon, Velocity, all this, Bob, where you guys go. It's really cool. Give me goosebumps. Look.
Yeah. So to beat the dead horse is that Super Dispatch has that technology, and I believe there's APIs, because this is a built-out technology that could be plugged into and provide the type of transparency you're looking for in the transportation process to take out the guesswork that's happening right now.
Yeah.
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 Because
Cool,
you don't
guys.
need the driver to call you when you can see the GPS and other parts of the GPS and time codes of when and where and what happened, what to expect when the car gets there, etc. Yeah.
Got
So
it.
there you go. Yeah.
Thanks
So-
for sending the contact info across.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I emailed you Super Dispatch.
Okay.
And yeah, we can pick up this conversation anytime. And this is a great example of what we love to do here. That's why we just spent all this time getting to know each other and talking is, yeah, let's break those silos.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Bob, thanks again. Euwart, Dennis,
Really
we always love you, man.
appreciate all
We'll
of your
see you
time
guys.
and input.
This
Thank you,
time.
gentlemen, so much.
Thank you.
Anybody going to Auto Intel Summit next week in this group?
Not me.
No.
Nope.
They only
Digital
invite
dealer?
smart people to those.
I'm going to the summit of Hard Knocks. Make it happen.
So
There you go.
Let's make it happen.
All right.
We'll
Let's
all
go to
see
the
each other
transport
there.
parking lot.
That's the summit I'm going.
So that's where I hang out. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Thanks,
Jay.
guys.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much. Really appreciate you.
You got it.
Awesome. All right. Okay, and the meeting is over. So, thanks everybody for jumping in the live chat. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, Kicking Up Dust always gets in here late, and we love it every time. Really appreciate it. Go ahead and back and watch the show, share it. It takes me about 4 to 8 hours or more to get the time codes in there. So take your time, and then the podcast comes out later. I'm behind on getting podcasts out. I got to get out several tomorrow. Always working on something, whether it's pre-show, doing a show, post-show, time codes, podcasts, rinse and repeat. Send me your emails. Let me know how I can help. Please do make sure you join us next Tuesday night for the Super Dispatch show. Super Dispatch got mentioned here at the end. And again, that is what we're all about. So if you feel like there's something we need to talk about and cover, send me an email and contact Ty. Here, I'll put in the phone number again and the email address. I just really want to thank Location Services, Rapid Recon, Superflow Systems, Ship Your Car Now, Ship.Cars. My guest tonight, Bob Wolf of Rohrman Auto Group, Euwart Anderson of Vehlo, and Dennis McGinn, CEO of Rapid Recon, and of course, my co-host, Ty Thompson. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time. There is no show tomorrow. We will be back on Thursday on Dispatching Live, so please do join us for that. And then on Friday, we've got Dan Kennedy of CT Services and Mike with Claim Genius. We're ATI Auto Business. We're here. It's a full automotive ecosystem. Let us know how we can help and how we can shed light. Let's break down those silos. If something doesn't make sense, please do let us know. We really do want to help, and we like to meet the full team. So if you've got a rock star in your store, department, company, business, or startup, let me know. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, because we want to network, share, grow, and deliver. Here comes the car hauler, everybody. I think the sun is shining a little bit more. Please do get a little bit of sunshine, vitamin D, and enjoy yourself as much as you can in between getting stuff done. Thanks, everybody. Take care.